everyone! Today's video is about chronic illness and the isolation that comes along with it. Different chronic illnesses affect people differently, but I think the isolation that you get with it is quite a universal thing. It doesn't matter how many people in your life are lovely and supportive. There is a small amount or a huge amount or some amount of isolation. Social interaction is incredibly important, especially for your mental health. And when you have a chronic illness, you need to also be looking after your mental health. But it's very hard to have that social interaction when you're chronically ill because you have limitations that others don't have. It's harder to meet up with your friends than if you weren't sick. Some people can't work due to chronic illness or can't study due to chronic illness, so they don't get their social interaction through work or study like most people do. And because you don't get social interaction in those ways, your friends become even more important. But especially as you get older, your friends get busier, you can't meet up as often, you have separate lives, and it makes it quite difficult. That's a normal thing to happen as you get older. You don't see your friends as often because they have their own lives, and that's a very normal thing to happen, and that's fine. The problem is, because with chronic illness, if you're not working, you don't get social interaction at work, those friendships are very important. That comes with other issues because it takes energy to text people or organize something to meet up. It takes energy to go anywhere. Even at your own house, organizing something can be tiring because you want to make sure that it's tidy enough for guests, or that you have food or drink or whatever for guests. Plans are easily cancelled as well due to your chronic illness. So if you wake up and you're having a bad day, that's the plans are done. You can't do anything, and it just makes you feel more isolated and lonely. Admitting your weaknesses can go a long way. If you're open with your friends, tell them it's hard for you to leave the house sometimes, then they're more likely to come to you. You need to be open with them, and that's very hard. I personally hate opening up. I have always opted to try and meet someone halfway because I live a fair distance from my friends. But the thing is, that wasn't fair on me. That put a lot of pressure on me to be able to get halfway. And after those plans, I would have to recover the next day from seeing my friends for a few hours halfway between where we are. That seemed fair, but when you're chronically ill, it's actually not fair, not on you, not on your body. And the other thing is, on the days that you have to change your plans because you can't get out of bed, be completely honest about that. Just say, look, I'm having trouble, I was really looking forward to seeing you, but I can't get out of bed. Would you maybe consider coming over here and watching some stupid movie that I don't have to concentrate on and keep me company? Sometimes they might not be able to, but they also might be able to. So if you are open, it can help. However, even with that, even with trying to organize things at your house, or trying to be honest and open about how your chronic illness affects you, there is other form of isolation with having your healthy friends. So all my friends I've been friends with since high school or earlier, and they're all healthy, and they're lovely and supportive, but they don't understand exactly what I'm going through, and that's fine because they can't. Because they're not going through it. And there is an isolation and watching your friends have the typical lives that people your age should be having, like moving out of home, getting married, traveling, you know, all of that kind of stuff. While you're unable to do any of that, you're stuck at home having to go to frequent doctor's appointments and trying this thing and that thing and this other thing to try and see what can help your chronic illness. You know, there's very different experiences that you have, which can be quite isolating. Unfortunately, there is always going to be that separation. But there are a lot of support groups out there that can help ease that loneliness and can be the support for the chronic illness. You need to find the balance, and there are plenty of support groups out there. There's heaps online that I know of. You know, find something that works for you, because that loneliness isn't good for you. When I first wrote down the points of what I wanted to say in this video, it was a few weeks ago that I was first writing some stuff, and I started crying because of how lonely I was. And the thing was, it was because I hadn't been honest with my friends, not completely, about what I was going through. And then I had a cry, and then I messaged my friends and was like, look, it's hard for me to leave my house, but I haven't seen you in ages. So let's try and organise something, a board game thing, something like that. And we did. It's scary to admit your weaknesses. I just wanted to shed some light on the isolation that being chronically ill can cause, and also to, you know, tell other people who are chronically ill you're not alone in that. And there are plenty of online support groups. But that is all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!